Here we go. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 465. We're here reviewing episodes 4 through 6 of Number 1 Sentai Gozyuger. In these three episodes, episode 4 is all about Gozyuger Eagle. Yeah, where basically we get the backstory in this episode. He's actually an old man in a young man's body. He's basically an old man who was made young. So he has sort of disagreement with his family. And then he just randomly finds the ring on a plant, puts it on. His wish is for eternal youth, and he becomes young. And apparently the deal for him to stay young is to have eggs. Yep, so then of course he proceeds to, because he's a teenager, he proceeds to enroll in high school, assume a fake name, and just by sheer coincidence, it's the same school his grandson goes to, and also, it just so happens to be, he just happens to be enrolled in the class his grandson is in. Of course, his grandson does not know this is his grandfather as a young man. He does not know that. He does not know at all. So, by the way, this also is the first episode where they have a monster who appears in this episode who is, well, how should I put this? Well, I think they did this in the previous episode too, where basically for the second time, they're basically picking some unlike in the case of the first two episodes where, I like the case of episode, I think it was 1, Actually, yeah, I think it was 1. When they had the treasure hunt one, that was actually the landlady of the place. And in the second one, it was actually his former boss. And and 3 basically started this thing of, let's have random people basically get turned into monsters. Yep. So what's the monster do this one? Have a big party. Yep, a party. Where basically he takes control of a high school student. Now, seeing the high school stuff reminds me a little bit of Commodore 4Z. Great show. I love 4Z. Yeah, that was a fantastic show. A little bit of it, and he gets possessed, and then of course, all by having a party. And apparently the grandson's dream is to become an artist. And he wants to go to art school. And after all the stuff happened in the episode, by the way, they also have with episode 4, we have basically the woman who becomes unicorn, Seno, where she basically tries to ask about this prosecutor who might know anything about what happened to her sister. So then it's revealed that this prosecutor is one of the Ring Warriors. Which one? He is he's the Red Ranger from Red Soldier. Well, not the same character, mind you. Just basically he uses the suit. Yes, it was pointed out early on that basically, yes, the suits are here, and they might occasionally have actors who are previously Sentai actors who are playing the characters. But in this show, no. No, they're not. None are. Like, an example. An example of this is the first one they see, the one who was the King Ultra Red Ranger. He was previously in Boom Manger, the very previous series. And here's some interesting though. The caretaker lady, this woman is married to the actor who played Time Red. Yeah, this actually is his wife. And she's married to him since 2014. So she married him 13 years after basically like. Now the thing is, she is not featured very much in the show at all. Not really. Yeah. Like, she's not in 3, and after 4, she is not seen again until episode 10. She's not featured a lot throughout the show. Yeah, as for the reason for this, I have no idea. Her son, meanwhile, though, yes, she has a son. He has appeared in the first 2 episodes, and he's not appearing again to episode 7. So, she's probably up someplace else. So, pretty much basically, like, after he gets defeated. By the way, he defeats him using the abilities of Time Ranger. Yes. Yeah, basically, with episode 4, we can confirm that Atami, that's the one who's currently Dama Mataro, yeah, with episode 4, now, of course, they were showing he had basically Dawn Brothers, and 3, he had Jetman, and this one confirmed he had Time Ranger. Yes, he had the Time Ranger ring. Yep. And after he defeats the Red Soldier, then this comes to play in episode 6 where he has to resign. We'll get back to that. So, then of course they reveal, oh yeah, the fact that our Red Ranger has got a family. Tano, yeah, apparently he had a family that he apparently has not seen in a long time. So, there's a hint of that, but it's not fully explored in episode 6. 5, meanwhile, though, is focused all on Unicorn. Yep. Yeah, all focus is on her. And basically, this is her. Well, the whole big thing with this episode is that this is when she first transforms. Also, she's like, when she meets basically Eagle, like, oh, you got a new guy. Cool. Yep. And the whole thing in this episode is she's trying to investigate basically who caused his parent and sister. Of course, we hinted this basically in episode 4. This is more development on it. And for some reason, episode 4, she couldn't transform, but then she transformed in this episode due to accepting contract. Yeah. So, also apparently the number one noser, which of course basically the episode started with her interrogating 2 random guys who were questioned about his sister's disappearance, kind of coerced him on going on a date with her, which basically resulted in them wasting their time. Then the chubby guy becomes a monster. Or it's all being nosy, of course. And also, get this, so when they meet him, it's like, okay, let's have Byakuya and Begumi proceed to write their autographs on his shoulders. And then he wipes them off. And the whole thing is about being nosy. Yep, all about being nosy. Eventually, of course, at one point she kind of coerces the other Rangers, give the rings, though she does give back, which is I'll give him eventually. So then she defeats the guy, and of course she just drags the guy, and this is really weird. So when she pulls him out, he gets teleported right back when he was taken. Which I'm like, that's weird. Because normally when they pull up, they're usually right there. They don't go back to where they were teleported. Yeah, that was a first. And we do see in this episode, we do the debut of Eagle Zord, which is basically everybody else's Zord, just green. And then the very next episode, no Montes one. Yeah, because the events episode 4, by the way, also in 5, he gives basically Unicorn. He gets something basically the Red Soldier ring for basically, yeah, he gives it to her, and I think as far as I can tell, she still has the ring. Let me take a look here about this. Okay, she hasn't given up yet. Basically, that's when she got the ring. She got the ring episode 5. It's her first Sentai ring she has. Yeah. As far as like she still has it. So then of course basically with the very next episode it's like, oh, because events of 4, yeah, it's like 6 is basically something that was, it's like a couple things was up in 4 and gets paid off this episode because of the whole Momotaro using a weapon. Apparently he's illegal in the Japanese government, which I'm like, that didn't stop the original guy using the weapons in Dawn Brothers, but apparently here, oh no, it's illegal somehow, so he had to resign. And then he joins the bad guys and uses a Bokenger ring. Yes, Bokenger. Where the heck got this thing? Don't know. And then he basically makes a castle out of it, which I'm like, since when has Bokenger basically had built into a frickin' feudal era castle? So, plenty of serious trials to get to him. Trial number 1, tag, which basically Tano and our Eagle Ranger basically beat easily. Second one, dodgeball, which basically Bagman basically beats easily. Third, playing house, which then basically Flame Count gets so irritated, basically waiting for his Zord to be fixed, he proceeds to go out with his grunts and basically his butt handed to him. So, and then of course basically summons her Zord, and also first time in the series, one of the villains actually goes giant size. Instead of having sent on their mech, nope, let's have basically Mr. Shining Knife and Miss Sweet Candle grow giant size. And have basically, well, let's have a ranger take this person on, and eventually she does beat him. And in the case of, well, after they cause Flame Candle to flee, of course, they work with basically Tano. Tano and Atami, they briefly work together to drive him away. And like, okay, let's have a one-on-one battle. Let's see who gets to the rings. He's like, okay, let's fight. And it's very brief, and Tano wins. So he gets Bokenger, Time Ranger, Dawn Brothers. He does not get Rare Soldier. Nope, that basically does not go to him at all. Yeah, so he gets Dawn Brothers, Jetman, Time Ranger, and Bokenger. He gets 4 rings. So aside from the main ring he has, which basically is Gar Wolf, he has now 5 rings. Semo, she herself has 2 rings. Byakuya, he is the Wolf Ranger. He has 1 ring. He has the Bumu Manja ring. Yeah, currently he just has 1 ring. Aside from his main, he has like 2 rings. Bayami, he has 2 rings. He has the O Ranger ring and he has his main ring. So he has 2. Takahara, he has currently at this point just 1 ring, just his main one. So as of now, Someone's got 2, Tano has got 5, Byakuya has got 2, everyone else got pretty much 2, or at least 1. Yeah, but oh, by the way, there's this thing called number 1 Battle Announcer. Yeah, and there's none of these episodes 6. Oh no, because it's a brief thing, and because it's all basically a monster. Yep. Oh, by the way, so after supposedly like Sano defeats Mr. Sharp Knife and Miss Sweet Candle, she comes back and fires an attack on her, on Sanko, when all of a sudden Daijujin shows up in this shot. Yeah, Daijujin under a freaking cloak, but yeah, you can tell it's him because the freaking head is not covered. Yeah, it's Daijujin. Yep, he shows up here. This mecha, which first time it's appeared on television since Zoo Ranger. though mostly put is just appeared in movies. Yeah, great to see the thing again. Apparently, it's been reactivated after it's been in that whatever the place it was, that graveyard where it was. I'm not going to identify it just yet, per se. We'll talk about that next episode, but I love the ending of episode 6. And I can't wait to discuss the remaining 22 episodes left to go. Now, there is also a movie that's been released called basically Number 1 Gozyuger Tenkoso Resurrection. It is out, but it's not finished airing in Japan yet. So because it's still in theaters, they can't exactly sub it here yet. My guess is they probably have to wait until it finishes its run and then sub it somehow. Yeah, we'll find out sometime when we get a chance to watch it, okay? So yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. I'll see you all in a bit. Basically, I have to get back from shopping to watch the remaining, watch a few more episodes, okay? See you. Bye.